No sé en qué se basa en el fútbol, o en el golf, o en el modelaje.
Net worth. Have you ever wondered what life looks like when you're one of the greatest tennis players of all time, retired, insanely rich, still iconic, and living your best life in 2025? Well, today we're diving deep into the world of Rafael Nadal, a man who conquered the courts and is now living like a king off them. From his jaw-dropping $220 million net worth to luxury homes in Mallorca and his insane private jet lifestyle, you're about to discover why Nadal's life is nothing short of elite. But there's more. He's now a devoted husband and proud father, and his off-court story might surprise you even more than his legendary matches. So before we serve you this exclusive lifestyle breakdown, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more high-end celebrity deep dives, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single upload. In a stunning evolution of his storied life, Rafael Nadal in 2025 has gracefully transitioned from the rigors of elite tennis to the sophisticated realms of global business, family, and wellness, maintaining a legacy that now stretches far beyond the baseline. Once known for his unrelenting power on clay courts, Nadal has pivoted to a role that combines brand leadership, mentorship, and family devotion, while still basking in the limelight of international admiration. Since hinting at his final ATP bow in 2024, the 22-time Grand Slam champion hasn't disappeared from public view. Instead, he's leaned into his entrepreneurial instincts, expanding his Rafa Nadal Academy empire, overseeing charitable projects, and traveling between continents in his signature understated fashion. Nadal's daily rhythm has transformed from grueling tournament grinds to a balanced life of executive calls, training for wellness rather than trophies, and evenings spent at home with his beloved family in the sun-drenched hills of Mallorca. As fans continue to revere him for his legacy in sports, the world now watches in equal awe as he crafts a second act just as compelling. A narrative not only of post-retirement success, but of a man continuously evolving while staying grounded in humility and the values that endeared him to millions. Rafael Nadal's enduring romance with Maria Francisca Perelló, affectionately known as Zizka, remains one of the most respected and quietly powerful partnerships in global celebrity circles, with the couple's journey from childhood sweethearts in Manacor to international role models capturing hearts well beyond the tennis world. As of 2025, their union reflects strength through simplicity, eschewing flashy headlines for a steady values-driven marriage that champions privacy, philanthropy, and mutual respect. Maria, who now co-leads several key initiatives within the Rafa Nadal Foundation, has emerged as an influential figure in child welfare and education advocacy, leveraging her business acumen and compassionate ethos to drive meaningful impact behind the scenes. Their relationship is a masterclass in balance, Nadal the global sports icon and Maria the reserve strategist, together forming a dynamic pair that shares not only history but purpose. Whether appearing together at charity galas, overseeing development plans at their academy, or walking hand-in-hand through the streets of Mallorca with their child, the Nadals showcase a form of celebrity that prioritizes authenticity over spectacle. Their bond, rooted in nearly 2 decades of trust and loyalty, stands as a refreshing contrast to fleeting showbiz romances, offering a rare glimpse into how fame and genuine love can indeed coexist without compromise. In a life already defined by extraordinary discipline and resilience, Rafael Nadal's journey into fatherhood marks a profoundly human chapter, revealing a softer, more reflective side of the champion that fans rarely saw on the court. Since the birth of his first child in late 2022, Nadal has spoken with rare vulnerability about the emotional transformation that comes with becoming a parent, describing fatherhood as the most meaningful role he's ever undertaken. Now, in 2025, as his toddler begins to explore the world, Nadal is often seen navigating playgrounds with as much focus and joy as he once navigated Grand Slam rallies, proving that his competitive fire has seamlessly morphed into protective paternal pride. Daily life now includes storytelling sessions, beach walks, and quiet moments that contrast sharply with his once high-octane tour life, yet bring him an equal sense of fulfillment. He's candid about wanting to instill humility, gratitude, and a love for simplicity in his child, a mission he pursues not through opulence but through presence, values, and connection. Friends say that fatherhood has mellowed Nadal in the best way, grounding him further and redefining his priorities, with his son not only becoming the center of his universe but also the lens through which he now views every decision, from business ventures to travel schedules. It's a remarkable pivot that adds depth to his legacy, showcasing Nadal not just as a titan of sport but as a devoted hands-on father building a nurturing world for the next generation. Perched on the serene shores of Mallorca, Rafael Nadal's $40 million mansion is more than just a home. It's a Mediterranean sanctuary that captures the essence of luxury, privacy, and personal achievement, meticulously designed to mirror both his roots and his global stature. Spread across multiple acres of pristine land, the estate seamlessly blends rustic Spanish architecture with cutting-edge modern conveniences, featuring expansive open-air terraces, floor-to-ceiling windows that frame panoramic sea views, and a private marina that anchors his lavish yacht. Built with an eye for tranquility and functionality, the residence includes state-of-the-art fitness facilities, a personalized trophy room displaying over 2 decades of tennis history, a wellness spa, and not one but 2 private tennis courts, because even in retirement, the love for the game remains. The interior design exudes understated elegance, with local stonework, soft neutral palettes, and artisan-crafted wood fixtures creating an inviting atmosphere that's at once opulent and cozy. Each corner of the property tells a story, be it the serene meditation garden where he often starts his day or the sun-drenched veranda where he and Maria share family meals. It's here that Nadal finds his peace, away from the cameras, where the pressures of performance fade into the calming rhythm of coastal living. This home is not merely a symbol of wealth, it's a carefully curated reflection of a man who has conquered the world and returned home to enjoy the spoils in solitude, style, and harmony. Far from the structured calm of Mallorca lies Rafael Nadal's tropical escape in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, a hidden villa that offers the tennis icon and his family an occasional yet essential break from Europe's public eye and philanthropic schedules. Valued at several $1 million, this beachside property is the epitome of seclusion and barefoot luxury, nestled among palm trees and white sand with direct access to a private stretch of Caribbean coastline. Though Nadal and Maria keep this location closely guarded, occasional sightings and discreet social media posts from guests confirm the estate's existence and its significance in the couple's life. Outfitted with eco-friendly architecture, infinity pools that blend into the ocean horizon, and an on-site wellness pavilion, this retreat is where the Nadals unwind, reset, and reconnect. There are no press tours or photo ops here, just quiet family barbecues, morning yoga sessions, and ocean swims under tropical sunsets. Locals speak of Nadal as a respectful, low-key presence, often seen supporting community initiatives in the area without seeking credit. The villa itself is fully staffed but never ostentatious, reflecting the couple's taste for thoughtful luxury over showy displays. It serves as a vital escape hatch away from headlines, tennis boards, and gala dinners, allowing the Nadals to live even briefly, without the world watching. For Rafael, this Dominican hideaway is more than just a vacation spot. It's a reminder that life, at its best, is lived in moments, not milestones. When it comes to global travel, Rafael Nadal has elevated his game to the skies with a level of comfort, efficiency, and style that only a select few athletes in history have ever experienced, routinely boarding his personal jet, a sleek, customized Cessna Citation XLS Plus, to jet between Spain, the US, the Middle East, and every corner of the tennis and philanthropic world. He still actively navigates in 2025. This $13 million aircraft, tailored to meet both business and family demands, is more than just a luxury. It's a command center in the sky, complete with leather recliners, an onboard office, gourmet catering, and meditation-ready ambient lighting that reflects Nadal's wellness-focused routine. His travel is often family-centered, with Maria and their son frequently joining him on flights, showcasing a tightly knit trio that balances global schedules with deep personal bonds. This jet not only facilitates quick access to his Rafa Nadal Academy branches in Mexico, Kuwait, and upcoming U.S. locations, but also supports the foundation's reach, enabling surprise visits to international education sites, and disaster relief zones without fanfare. While the aircraft is rarely flaunted, insiders reveal that Nadal has used it to quietly assist friends, athletes, and causes, lending it out during emergencies or transporting equipment for charitable work. In the era of influencer aviation excess, Nadal's jet stands apart as a functional extension of a disciplined, generous lifestyle, less about indulgence and more about optimizing the one resource even champions can't buy: time. With his signature humility, Nadal treats his airborne mobility not as a trophy, but as a tool, proving once again that even in the clouds, his feet and values remain firmly on the ground. While Rafael Nadal may be known for his speed on the court, off the court he also harbors a deep passion for four-wheeled engineering masterpieces, maintaining a diverse and enviable car collection that perfectly mirrors his balance of functionality, flair, and eco-conscious evolution, with 2025 seeing his garage expand into a sophisticated lineup of both classic combustion legends and next-gen electric titans. Anchoring the collection is his long-standing partnership with Kia, through which he owns a customized Kia EV6 GT that speaks to his commitment to sustainability without compromising on performance. But that's just the beginning. He also owns a Mercedes-AMG GT for adrenaline-fueled coastal drives, a stately Aston Martin DBS Superleggera for gala arrivals, a bulletproof Range Rover SVR for off-road family excursions, and a limited edition electric Porsche Taycan that reflects his love for futuristic innovation. Add to that a few collectible Ferraris and a vintage 1960s Mustang gifted by a close friend, and you start to see that Nadal's tastes aren't just luxurious. They're deeply personal, curated over time with stories and milestones behind each vehicle. Yet despite his deep appreciation for elite craftsmanship, Nadal remains surprisingly low-key about his collection, often driving himself around Mallorca in the most unassuming vehicle of the bunch. He rarely displays his cars publicly, and never flaunts them on social media, preferring to let his lifestyle speak for itself, rather than perform for an audience. In a world where celebrity car culture is often about shock value and Instagram content, Nadal's garage is a reflection of identity rather than image, carefully chosen, frequently used, and deeply enjoyed away from the spotlight. As of 2025, Rafael Nadal has not only cemented his place in tennis history, but also quietly built one of the most financially resilient post-retirement portfolios in the sporting world, amassing an estimated net worth of over $220 million through a combination of prize money, long-term endorsements, diversified investments, and ownership in thriving businesses that now span continents and industries. While his career earnings from tennis alone exceed $135 million, the real engine behind his fortune lies in strategic partnerships with legacy brands like Nike, Richard Mille, Babolat, and Kia, each of which has extended contracts with him well beyond his active playing years, due to his global influence and consistent brand integrity. Nadal has also expanded into equity stakes in eco-friendly real estate projects across Spain, invested in wellness startups rooted in his Mediterranean health philosophy, and launched premium athleisure lines under his lifestyle brand Rafa Living, which has grown into a top-performing e-commerce business targeting elite wellness consumers. In addition, his Rafa Nadal Academy has become a global educational asset, not just a sports facility, generating income streams through tuition, licensing, and elite events. Nadal is also a savvy investor in tech ventures related to sports analytics and smart training devices, often working behind the scenes as an advisor rather than a flashy ambassador. His financial discipline is legendary, never one to waste or overspend. He surrounds himself with a trusted core of advisors and keeps a hands-on approach to major decisions. Perhaps most impressively, Nadal's wealth hasn't led to isolation or ego inflation. He remains actively philanthropic, donating millions yearly through his foundation, and ensuring that success for him is always a shared journey, never a solo sprint. What began in 2016 as a passion project in Nadal's hometown of Manacor has, by 2025, transformed into one of the most respected and expansive youth sports institutions in the world. The Rafa Nadal Academy, now boasting international campuses, elite alumni, and a growing reputation for not just producing top-tier tennis players, but also cultivating emotionally intelligent, academically strong, and socially responsible global citizens. The original Mallorca campus remains the crown jewel, a 40,000 square meter complex featuring indoor and outdoor courts, boarding facilities, classrooms, psychology centers, and rehabilitation zones, all under one cohesive curriculum that prioritizes character as much as competition. What sets the Academy apart is its holistic philosophy. Students are trained not just to win matches, but to manage pressure, understand failure, and navigate fame, a blueprint Nadal himself mastered. The expansion into Mexico and Kuwait has only amplified its reach, with 2025 marking the start of a US-based campus in Florida, designed to serve North and South American talent pipelines. Rafael Nadal remains intricately involved in daily operations, often mentoring coaches and personally reviewing long-term planning goals. He regularly visits the academies to speak with students, observe training, and reinforce the values of humility, effort, and respect, pillars that underpin every program offered. The Academy has also evolved into a hub for sports science innovation, partnering with universities to pilot cutting-edge performance tracking tools and mental conditioning models, making it not just a school, but a think tank for future athletic excellence. Through this global network, Nadal has ensured that his influence will stretch well into the next century, not through trophies, but through the lives he continues to shape with vision, compassion, and purpose. Beyond trophies and tournaments, Rafael Nadal's most enduring impact may be found in the quiet corridors of underfunded schools, struggling youth centers, and distant communities where his philanthropic reach continues to grow, led by the unwavering mission of the Rafa Nadal Foundation, a cornerstone of his legacy that by 2025 has blossomed into one of the most trusted athlete-led humanitarian efforts in the world. Founded in 2008, with the goal of empowering children through education and sports, the foundation has expanded its operations across Spain, India, Latin America, and parts of Africa, launching dozens of community projects focused on emotional development, educational equity, and structured athletic programs for at-risk youth. In recent years, the foundation has leaned into mental health support, launching the Learning Through Sport initiative to provide psychological resilience training in schools affected by poverty and trauma. Maria Francisca Perelló serves as director, overseeing operations with quiet precision, while Nadal himself remains the heart of the mission, frequently visiting project sites, holding surprise coaching clinics, and personally mentoring scholarship recipients. The foundation also collaborates with global NGOs and tech partners to bring digital learning platforms to remote regions, reflecting Nadal's commitment to adapting his outreach to meet 21st century challenges. Financially, he commits millions annually, often funneling earnings from brand deals and event appearances directly into the foundation's trust, ensuring its sustainability for generations to come. Yet, for all the impact statistics and awards, Nadal remains resolutely humble about this work, rarely publicizing it unless it helps raise awareness for a cause. In doing so, he redefines what it means to be a sports legend, not just by the battles won on court, but by the futures made brighter off it. In 2025, Rafael Nadal's influence extends well beyond the tennis world and into the global fashion and business landscape, where his signature blend of athleticism, elegance, and discipline has become the cornerstone of a rapidly expanding personal brand empire anchored in premium collaborations and smart entrepreneurship. At the heart of this evolution is Rafa Living, a high-end athleisure and wellness lifestyle brand co-founded by Nadal and several European designers that blends minimalist Mediterranean aesthetics with technical performance fabrics, targeting professionals who value both comfort and sophistication. The brand features everything from custom training gear and tailored sweat sets to eco-conscious water bottles and mindfulness tools, all marketed with Nadal's subtle authenticity and commitment to excellence. Simultaneously, his partnership with luxury watchmaker Richard Mille remains one of the most iconic athlete collaborations of the last 2 decades, with each limited edition timepiece co-designed by Nadal selling out within hours, and often reselling for 6 figures. These watches are more than accessories, they're statements of durability, and elegance, tested on court during Nadal's matches, and now showcased in museum exhibitions around the globe. In addition to apparel and watches, Nadal has stepped into business mentorship, advising Spanish tech startups, focused on wearable fitness technology and AI-driven sports training software, using both his reputation and user insight to shape product development. Through each venture, he maintains a high level of involvement, not just licensing his name, but sitting on advisory boards, reviewing product prototypes, and participating in campaign ideation. This hands-on approach has made him a favorite among investors and collaborators, admired not only for his marketability, but for his strategic mindset. Rather than chasing every brand offer that comes his way, Nadal remains selective, choosing to represent products and services that align with his values of integrity, innovation, and quality. As a result, his business legacy is shaping up to be just as enduring as his athletic one, carefully curated, highly respected, and built to last far beyond his playing days. Rafael Nadal's daily routine in 2025 offers a rare window into how one of the world's greatest athletes has restructured his life around longevity, mindfulness, and family, demonstrating that peak performance isn't limited to championship matches, but can be translated into everyday discipline and intention. Most mornings begin at dawn, with a quiet ritual of stretching, guided breathing, and sunrise meditation in a secluded part of his Mallorca estate, overlooking the ocean and grounded in silence, far from the roaring crowds he once played before. After that comes a customized workout session tailored by a personal trainer who designs routines around functional strength, core mobility, and joint preservation, key for someone who's endured years of intense physical demands. Nadal often trains with select guests or youth athletes from his academy, subtly mentoring as he moves. Breakfast is Mediterranean and nutrient-rich, typically consisting of fresh fruits, whole grains, local olive oil, and a special anti-inflammatory smoothie that his nutritionist has refined over the years. He then spends a portion of his day on business and academy strategy calls, toggling between Spanish and English meetings, as he discusses brand direction, upcoming expansions, and foundation updates. Afternoons are often reserved for quality time with Maria and their son, where you'll find him biking along the coastline, or introducing his boy to paddle sports, gardening, or classic music sessions in the library. Digital detox is a priority. He logs off entirely by 7 p.m., a rule he strictly follows unless there's a pressing family or foundation matter. Evenings conclude with light reading, wellness journaling, or dinner with close family and friends, where phones are left at the door and conversation flows uninterrupted. It's a life of quiet rigor and soft luxury, where every action is intentional and deeply rooted in values that reflect not only Nadal's sporting DNA, but a matured philosophy about balance, purpose, and sustainable living. Despite the immense wealth, international accolades, and global recognition that Rafael Nadal continues to enjoy in 2025, the core of his identity remains unchanged, rooted in humility, gratitude, and an unwavering connection to his upbringing, in the quiet town of Manacor, where he still walks the streets without an entourage and greets local shop owners by name. Those who've known him since childhood describe a man who has never been seduced by the trappings of fame, choosing instead to live modestly, avoid controversies, and dedicate his voice only when he feels it adds value. Even today, he visits the same barbershop, frequents family-owned restaurants with no reservations or security detail, and attends local events not as a VIP but as a neighbor and friend. Journalists covering his lifestyle often remark on how interviews with Nadal feel less like PR performances and more like honest conversations. He downplays his successes, credits his team, and always turns the spotlight toward others. His home reflects the same ethos. While undeniably luxurious, it lacks gaudy embellishments, instead focusing on warmth, comfort, and timeless design. He avoids fashion excess, refrains from unnecessary opulence, and often donates gifts and appearance fees to local causes without publicity. It's not an act, it's a philosophy shaped by a deep awareness that fame is fleeting and character is permanent. Nadal has often spoken about the importance of staying grounded, and he credits his family, particularly his uncle Tony, for instilling this mindset early on. In a celebrity culture often defined by spectacle and self-promotion, Rafael Nadal is a rare exception, a global icon who has mastered the art of being both extraordinary and relatable, admired not just for what he's accomplished, but for who he's chosen to remain. Looking ahead to the latter half of the decade, Rafael Nadal's legacy continues to expand in unexpected and exciting ways, as he leverages his legendary status to influence not only sports and business, but also cultural diplomacy, education reform, and sustainable development initiatives, making him a multifaceted global ambassador, whose second act may well surpass the first in scope and significance. As whispers grow about a potential Olympic Committee advisory role, or a formal position within Spain's Ministry of Sport, Nadal has already begun piloting national youth sports programs, in collaboration with educational authorities, aiming to integrate tennis into public school curricula, while advocating for broader emotional health resources in athletic training. Simultaneously, his documentary series chronicling his personal philosophy on discipline, pressure and resilience, slated for a late 2025 streaming release, has drawn attention from educators, mental health professionals, and performance experts, who view Nadal not just as an athlete, but as a living framework for character education. International organizations like UNESCO and UNICEF have reportedly reached out for future collaborations, impressed by his work through the Rafa Nadal Foundation and his grassroots approach to global impact. Yet despite these ambitious moves, Nadal continues to describe himself simply as a man grateful for his opportunities and determined to make the most of his voice. He has no interest in politics, no appetite for celebrity gamesmanship, and no desire to rewrite his identity to fit a new stage. Instead, he seeks to build bridges between countries, generations, and values, using his past success as a platform for lasting change. For fans, colleagues, and world leaders alike, Rafael Nadal in 2025 represents a rare blend of greatness and grace, a living legend whose legacy isn't etched solely in records or riches, but in the lives he continues to touch with empathy, vision, and enduring integrity.